All right, so what I did is I did some screenshots of the pages. I'm not telling you like exactly what problems we're doing, but I'm pretty much doing that, all right, for the most part. So anyway, this is right from the homework that you guys had to do. And I'll tell you what, let me do this. I have a copy. I want to put the copy of the quiz right in front of me so that I remember. Oh, actually, I don't have it in here. Oh, sorry. Guys, settle down. Let me see where I put it. There it is. All right, bear with me. Here we go. So I give you number one. I give it in 3 parts, and you got to get all 3 to get it right. Okay, because there's really not much work or anything. I just thought just giving you one of these, I don't know. I just thought it was too easy. So I made it a 3-parter. All right, so any of these, 13 to 22, I could put on there. What does it ask to do? It says replace the question mark. Now, I don't put a question mark on the quiz. I put a little blank, right? And so you just fill in the blank. And here are your choices. You're going to put either less than, you're going to put greater than, or you're going to put equal. All right, so let's just do these really quick. 1/2 is what compared to 0? 1/2 and 0. Is a half bigger than 0? Is it less than or is it equal to? Okay, 1/2 is less than 0. So if I had half a pizza, that's less than 0 pizzas. It's not different. It's the same. Here we go. 5. 5 is less than 6. Here we go. We got some negatives in here. All right. Sometimes that causes some issues. -1 compared to -2. -1 is what? It's greater than. Okay. It's bigger than -2. Remember, think of a number line. Shh. Let's settle down. Think of a number line. All right. I got a -2, -1. Where is -2? -2 is here. -1 is there. So -1 must be bigger or greater than -2, correct? Yeah. Let's just do a couple more. We're not going to do all of these. -3 is what compared to -5/2? Well, you got to know how to figure out what -5/2 is. How many times does 2 go into 5? It goes 2 and a little bit more, right? So it goes 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, right? So how much do I have left? I got 1 left, so it's 2.5. So 5/2 is 2.5. So it's -2.5. So is -3 less than, greater than, or equal to -2.5? It's less than. Okay, so that would be less than, and you get the rest. Okay, I actually did not put any square roots or even fractions. No, I did put 1 fraction. All right, but it's an easy fraction. All right, so that's number 1, but it's 3 parts. And I'll tell you right now, I'll give you a huge hint. You listening? You writing it down? I don't think I got everybody's attention. Yeah, it is easy, but that doesn't mean you get free reign to just talk and do whatever you want. All right? So listen. I give you 3 questions as part 1. One of them is going to be less than, one's going to be greater than, one's going to be equal. Everybody got that? So there you go. So don't put 2 less thans or 2 greater thans or 2 equals, all right? Because you got one of each. You got to figure which one's which. I didn't put any of those. Jump down to this, 29 to 32. Everybody see that? So I put 2 questions, two questions from 29 to 32. Pick which one you want to do. Second one? Okay, let's do that one. So it says graph on a real number line, and I give you a line. I'll just put the line right here. I just give you a blank line like this, okay? And you have to graph x is less than 4. Well, what do you need on the graph? Some numbers. What do you at least need? At least you need a 4, correct? Do you agree? If it's less than 4, you need to have a 4 on there. So here's what I do. I know it's less than, so I'm going to give myself some more room to the left of 4. All right, so I'll call that 3, 2, 1. Do we absolutely need a 0 and put numbers to the left and the right as 0? No, we don't. I mean, you could. Wouldn't be wrong. So you could have done this, right? Right here with a 0 in the middle. You could have done that, but you don't need it. So x is less than 4. So it means we're going to put a circle on there, right? Now the question is it an open circle or is it a closed circle?
Open.
It's open. Why? Right, it's not or equal to, right? It is less than, but it's not or equal to. Everybody got that? So if it just says less than, or if it said greater than, it's an open circle. All right, so this is an open circle, and where do we shade? Which direction? To the left, that's right. So less than, left, get it? L. All right. All right, for that. What's the only difference in the other ones? Well, this is greater than, so that would go which direction? To the right. And it's still what? What kind of circle? It's open. Right here, what do? We put a 7, and we're going to go in which direction? To the left. But what kind of circle is going to be at the 7? It's going to be closed. All right? Those should be pretty easy, right? So I can put 2 of them on there. So numbers 2 and 3 on the quiz are that. We good? All right. All right, now I jump down to these. These right here. All right, everybody see this? These. So I put 2 of these on there. And they're the exact problems from this homework. All right, I couldn't make this, I shouldn't say easier, but you should not be any, you can't be any more prepared for this unless I actually sat there and took it for you. Okay, that's about the only way. No, that's not going to happen. Don't even think. All right, so here we go. Let's do a couple of these. I'll let you pick. I'm not going to tell you which ones I picked on the quiz. 2 of those will be on the quiz. I'll let you pick one. What's a good one that you want me to do?
Do the hardest one.
43, is that what you said? 53. There's no 53. You're only doing from here to here. Where's your glasses? Do you have glasses? Landon, do you have glasses?
Yeah, but I can't find it.
Because you're always squinting all the time.
I can't see.
You tell me. I'm asking you to give me one.
The one that's on the quiz.
46.
No, he's picking one and it's going to be on the quiz. Is that what you just said?
43. I thought it was
2 of these are on the quiz, but you're going to tell me.
I know which one's on the quiz.
Well, tell me which one. Give me a number.
45.
45? Okay. Let's do 45. So what's it say? It says evaluate each expression if x is equal to -2 and y is equal to +3. All right? Everybody see what we're doing here? So what am I going to do? I'm going to plug in. I'm going to substitute. So this is going to be 3 times x. So instead of 3 times x, what is x equal to? -2. So I put a -2 in for that. There's my 3x. Then what else do I do? Plus 2y. So put a y in for that. What's the y? It's 3. So I put a 3 in for that. Over 2 plus y. So I put a 2 plus y. What's my y again? 3. Now I just simplify this. So I go this one right here. 3 times -2 is -6. And then I'm going to go plus 2 times 3, which is 6. Over 2 plus 3 is 5. What is -6 plus 6? 0. 0 over 5 is 0. So that's the answer to 45. We okay? Just simple substitution.
That's pretty.
It is pretty easy. I give you 2 of those.
How many questions are on the quiz?
10.
That's how it is on all. Just make it 20.
Every quiz is 10 questions. That's correct. 20 on every test, 10 on every
How many
quiz.
tests do you have each quarter?
I don't know. It just depends on how fast we go. We're not going that fast in here. So, no. All right. Enough of that. There's going to be 2 of those. You picked one. So that's the only one we're going to do today. Because you guys are messing around. Sure hope you're not like this when the problems get hard, because... All right, here we go. Then I got... Oh, with absolute value. Okay, right here. See these? I picked 2 of those as well. See that group right there, 47 to 56? There's 2 of them. It will be questions 6 and 7 on the quiz, yes. All right, you pick one of them.
Let's do 55.
All right. Nah, let's not do that one.
Oh, I know.
It's not on the quiz.
Let's do
Let's do 53.
53? All right, let's do that. So this is one we're going to do right there. Again, this is kind of same thing. Now, if you look at the instructions, they word it a little different, but it's really, you're doing the same thing. This says evaluate each expression if x is equal to this and y is equal to this. This says what? Find the value of each expression. It's the same thing. It's just 2 different ways of saying the same thing, all right? And that's how I wrote it on the quiz as well. So don't think that you're doing anything different. The only thing different on this is the absolute value, all right? So the other ones didn't have absolute value. This one does. What does that mean to have absolute value? It means whatever you do inside of the absolute value, you're going to get, your answer is going to be a positive. It's going to be positive. All right. What's going on today? Usually I can't get a peep out of you guys. Now I can't get you to shut up. All right. So 4, I don't mind if you participate, all right, if it's back and forth, all right? So here we go. Absolute value of 4 times x. So it's 4 times x. What's the x this time?
3.
X is 3 this time, all right? It's a different x and a y. All right, so it's 4 times 3 minus 5 times y. What's the y? It's negative 2. And all that is inside the absolute value. This is not really meant to do all this work inside of here, but I'm just going to try to squeeze it in. All right, what do we do first? You do the multiplication first, right? So you do that first, and you do this first. So 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, and this, you could look at it 2 ways. You could look at it as negative or minus 5 times negative 2, or you could look at it as negative 5 times negative 2. You're still going to get the same answer. What's negative 5 times negative 2? It's not just 10, it's what? It's positive 10, plus 10. Okay? Well, you can't just put a 12 and a 10 next to each other, right? So they got to be doing something to each other, right? And so you say they plus 10. Got it? All right.
I got a question, but it's not about
Well, let's finish this. This is 22. It's still an absolute value. What does that mean? Does that mean we always take the opposite sign of it? No, we always just make it positive. It's already positive, so my answer is just positive 22. That's all there is to it. So the absolute value part of that should not be that difficult. Would you agree? Yeah. You want to pick one more from this? We're good? Anybody else? Don't let those guys rule what's going on. 56? Yeah, we got time for it. And we just finished 6 and 7. 6 and 7, yeah. All right, so, yeah, we only got 3 more to do anyway, so let's just do this one. Everybody watch. 3 times the absolute value of x. What did we say x was again? It's just 3. So that's just 3 times 3. Right? When they're next to each other like this, it just means they're multiplied. Plus 2 times y. What is the y? It's negative 2. So put a negative 2. But it's an absolute value. It's the absolute value of y. All right, so what's this? What's the absolute value of 3? 3. And then 3 times this 3 is 9. Plus, right, because of that plus right there. 2 times the absolute value of negative 2. What's the absolute value of negative 2? It's 2. That 2 times this 2 is 4. You add them up, you get 13, and there you go. All right, I need to see this work. Do you see that work right here? I need to see that. All right, if all you do is just write down, that would be like number 7 or something, okay? If all you do is write down number 7 and write 13 and that's it, I'm going to mark it wrong. All right, I need to see how. How did you get it? Okay, I'm going to put a big old question mark, maybe even underline it, okay, just to emphasize it. This is how. This is how you got the answer. Take the whole problem wrong. The whole problem's wrong. All right, if you don't show me the work. Because what do you think I'm thinking if you had a problem and you could have shown work, but you just wrote down an answer? You think that's what I'm thinking? That's yeah. Now, I like to give you the benefit of a doubt, but look, I've been teaching for this is my 38th year teaching altogether, right? You don't think I've seen people cheat before? I see it almost every day. All right? Listen, I'm just telling you, show your work. And then, if you show your work, then you don't have to worry about it, right? Okay. All right. 8 and 9. Let's see. Oh, I didn't do the domain stuff. I didn't put on the quiz. All right. The temperature, the Celsius, Fahrenheit, I didn't put on the quiz. All right. But I did put a couple of these on here. And I put one scientific notation. Oh, I didn't do the scientific notation page. I didn't put that up on the screen. But I do one scientific notation. All right. We'll pick one from the homework, and you can do that. All right. So let's see. I don't really give you any from 73 to 84. They're all from 85 to 94. Okay. So I give you 2 from this group right there. Give me one to do. 88? I do give you one that's a little easier and then one's a little harder, okay? So I'll give you a hint. So you said 88? So 88, is that what you said? All right, let's do that. So I've got x to the first, y, and that is cubed. All right, here we go. Everything in here is being cubed, okay? So x to the first is being cubed, and the y is being cubed. What's the rule? It's called the power rule. I'll tell you the name of it. That says when you have an exponent, take it to another power. What do you do with them? You multiply them together. So I keep the base the same, and I multiply these together. -1 times 3 is -3. And then this is y to the first, right? So 1 times 3 is 3. Now, if you look at this, look at the instructions. Let me lower it just a little bit. It says express the answer so that all the exponents are positive. So am I going to circle that? No. All the exponents have to be positive. So how do I make this positive? Do I just make it x to the third? Got to flip it. Remember, you got a denominator. Where am I going to flip it? If it's on the top, I flip it to the bottom. And once I flip it to the bottom, I get what? X to the positive third, okay? So it goes away from the top, put it on the bottom, and there we go. So now that's my answer. Let's write it nice and clean. Yeah. But you got to make sure. And I put those instructions on there. On the quiz, I say express your answers so that all the exponents are positive. And if you don't do that, if you would have written this, even though you did the work right to get from here to here, I'm going to mark it wrong. So that's like number what, 8? I will mark it wrong if that's what your answer is. Got it? You got to make sure that all the exponents are positive. All right, let's do another one. You said 91. All right. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to write the whole problem down. We'll just do the first step down here. Everybody watch. This is probably the hardest one on the whole quiz, trickiest one. I don't want to say it's a hard problem, but I think it's the trickiest one. Everybody ready? So let's start at the top. Just go a little bit at a time. Okay, you don't have to solve the whole problem at once. Just a little bit at a time. Need that a little bit bigger. Is that better? All right. So it's -2 to the third power. And the negative 2 is in parentheses. So what are we cubing? We're cubing the whole entire negative 2, right? So it's negative 2 times negative 2, which is positive 4, times another negative 2, which is negative 8. So this is negative 8. Everybody got that? The x to the 4th can't really do anything else with that, so I'm just going to write x to the 4th. What? Sit right here. Sit right here. There's an empty seat right here. All right, what about this thing right here? Everything in here is being squared, right? We did this earlier in the quiz. So this is going to be y squared, and it's going to be z squared. Now the bottom. So we've simplified the top. Now let's do the bottom. This is 3 squared. Didn't we just do this yesterday for homework? Yeah, I remember that 8 over 9 one. Yeah, that's all right. We'll do it again.
That's why I said 94, but I don't think it's possible.
Well, we can do 94 if you want. We got time. So let's do this. That 3 squared. So 3 squared is 9. And then you just have x, you have y cubed, and you have z. Everybody good? Are we done? Do we circle it? No. Because look, I got x's on top and bottom, y's on top and bottom, and z's on top and bottom. It's not simplified. We got to simplify it. Now remember, we want all our exponents positive, don't we? So everything's positive right now. But if I start doing that subtraction, remember when you divide, you subtract the exponents. This 4 minus 1, that'll still give you a positive exponent. But look at this one. This is going to be 2 minus 3. Then you'd have to flip it. Okay, here's what I like to do. Everybody watching? Seems like some of you are not liking this, how I do this, but I think this is a good way to do it. I got 1x down here, and I got 4x's down here. So what do I think? How do I think of this? One of these x cancels with one of these. How many do I have left? 3 of them. So it's x to the 3rd. Everybody see that? That's easy, isn't it? Or you could have used that rule that said you subtract the exponents. 4 minus 1 is 3. All right? However you want to think of it. Wait a minute, up here. Look at this one. This is where it's really helpful for what I'm doing. Look at this. I got 2 y's up on top, and I got 3 y's down here on the bottom. So 2 of these y's canceled with 2 of these. How many am I left with then? Just 1 of them. Okay? What about this? I got 1 z down the bottom. That'll cancel with 1 of these z's up at the top, and that gives me z to the what? 1st. Let's write it nice and neat. Negative 8. What else do I got? X what? X cubed. What else do I got? A z over 9. That x canceled, that z canceled, so the only thing I have left on the bottom is what? Just this y, and that is your answer. We did that yesterday when we went over the homework yesterday. I didn't record that, but now it's recorded. Never do anything? Well, we did. We canceled stuff out. Oh, well, you can't reduce it. Yeah, nothing goes into 8 and 9. But what if something went into this? Watch this. Everybody look at this. What if, now it's not on this problem, but what if this was a 2? Could you leave your answer like that?
No.
Why not?
That's simple.
Yeah, you got to simplify. Watch, 2 goes into 8, doesn't it? So 2 goes into 8 how many times? 4 times. So if it was a 2 down the bottom, I'm saying if it was, all right, then you would just have negative 4 x cubed z over y. Agree? But you had a 9. Remember, that was a 9. And it doesn't reduce, so you just keep it like that. All right, let's do one more. 94, is that what you said? All right, well, let's do it. Watch, everything in here is being taken to what power? To the negative 3rd power, correct? Yeah. I mean, that's what somebody asks, so we'll do it. Oh, we still got to do a scientific notation. Don't let me forget that. Okay. Here's something you could do. You could do a couple things. Well, really, yeah, you could do a couple things with this. You could have taken the x to the negative second, thrown it to the bottom. You could take the y to the negative second that's on the bottom and put it to the top. Okay? You could have done that. But here's what I'm going to do first. Do you see how that's to the negative third? When you have a fraction, that whole fraction being taken to a negative exponent, we take the fraction and we flip it. And then you take it to the positive third power. So let's do that first. You guys paying attention to me? Tim, do you need to leave? Okay, because you're really irritating me. It just seems like you're not concentrating. And I know why, because you already know this stuff. I get it. But there's people in here that need to hear, right? You may not need to, but other people do. You're being selfish. I've got to be honest with you. All right, let's do this. Since this is a negative exponent, you could flip this and change that to a positive 3. So let's do that. So that means the 6y to the negative second goes on the top. That 5x to the negative second goes on the bottom. And that whole thing is taken to what power now? Not to the negative third, but to the positive third. Not if you just flip the fraction. That's all we're doing. Changing this to a positive 3, we just take everything inside of there. It doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's positive or negative exponents. We just flip the fraction and you just make that positive. All right? This is a multi-step problem. It's not just one step. So now what we can do a couple things. But here's what I would do if I was to do this. I don't like this negative exponent, don't like this negative exponent. So let's flip those. So let's take this, flip that to the bottom. Let's take this and flip that to the top. All right, so let's do that. Now that's 6. Does that 6 flip down to the bottom? No, because it doesn't have a negative exponent to it. So that 6 still stays on top, but what went up to the top? This x. So it's x to the what? To the second. And then the 5 stays on the bottom. What flips down to the bottom? That y. Y to the negative second flips to the bottom. When it does, it changes to y to the positive second. Now remember, all this is still to the what? To the third power. And we're not done, because we got to take everything to the third power now. So let's do that. We've done this a couple times already today. So we got to take the 6 to the third power. We got to take the x squared to the third power. That's that power rule again. When you take an exponent to another power, what do you do with those exponents? Multiply them together. So that's x to the 6th over. Let's do the same thing to the bottom. So I got to take that 5 to the third power. And then you got to take the y squared to the third power. Again, what is the rule? The rule is you multiply the exponents together. 2 times 3 is 6. Now, probably, my guess is they probably want you to figure out what 6 to the third is. I don't know what that is in my head. 216, is that what it is? Yep. And that's 125 down the bottom, right? 216 on the top. Now, do I have to do anything now with that x to the 6? No, it's already simplified. Over, what's that, 125, right? Yeah? Yep. Y to the 6th. Nothing divides evenly into either one of these. How do I know that by just looking at it super quick? How do I know that nothing divides into this and this? Well, this ends in a 5, right? So what's the only thing that divides into the bottom one? 5 and 0. Does a 5 go into this? No. Okay? Shouldn't have said or 0, but right, a 5 would go into this. 5 doesn't go into this, so we're done. That would be it. That's probably how they wrote the answer. I don't know, there's a possibility they might have just written the answer like this, 6 cubed. Not really sure, but my guess is they probably multiplied it out. It's not that big of a number.
So if we have one like that on the test,
Yeah, I want you to do this. That's why I circled it. Yep, I want you to multiply it out. Again, because these aren't... Now, if I had like this, if I had 327 to the 43rd power, I would not expect you to write out that number. You with me on that? You're not going to have anything like that. Don't worry about that. All right, let's do a scientific notation. Get your homework out. Okay, find one of the scientific notation problems, and I'm only going to give you one way. I'll tell you which way I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a number. It could be a very small number, it could be a very big number, but I'm going to give you just a number, and you need to change it into scientific notation. All right, so give me one of the numbers on there. Tim, give me one. 121. Is that the problem? I want you to give me the number that you got to change it into scientific notation. 32.155. Is that what you said? Because I don't have it in front of me. I didn't copy those and put them on the screen. All right, and you need to change this into scientific notation, correct? All right, so let's watch this. So where do I need that decimal point? It was here. Where do I need it if I'm going to write it in scientific notation? I'm going to move it right here. So it's going to be 3.2155 times 10. Now look what we did. We took a bigger number and we made it smaller, didn't we? We took 32 point something, we made it into a 3.2. So what kind of a number is going to be my exponent? It's going to be a negative exponent. How many places did we move it? Just one, so this is just going to be to the negative first. Does that make sense? Give me another one. Don't give me the actual number, the problem number. Give me the actual problem. Give me another one. You got it written down? 0 point what? 0, 0, 0. 4 what? 423? Okay. So we got to change that into scientific notation. So where are we going to move our decimal? Between the 4 and the 2. So I'm going to go 4.23 times 10. Now look, we took a small number and we made it what? Bigger. So this exponent has to be what? Positive. You get it? So if we made it bigger, that's got to be positive. If we made it smaller, that's got to be negative. How many places? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be 10 to the 4th. So that number right there is the same exact number as this one right there, but this is in scientific notation. I only give you one of those on the quiz, and you just have to change it from a regular number to scientific notation. I just ran out of problems, right? I stop at 10, so I ran out of problems to have you do it both ways, but that's okay. It's 10,000. Oh, wait a minute. My bad. Hold up. I said that completely wrong. Oh my gosh. I said that wrong. Look. This right here is 3.2, correct? And in order to get up here, to make it 32, I would have to multiply by a 10, wouldn't I? So this is 10 to the first, not negative first. My bad on that. Sorry about that. Here's how I used to teach it. And I was trying to think whether I should teach it like this. Watch this. If you move this decimal to the left, this number right here is going to go to the right. Okay, it's going to be bigger. It always starts off at 0. Right? So if this goes to the left one, where does this go? It goes to the right one. Does that make sense? Watch this one. This went to the right 4 places, and so this is going to be to the left 4 places. Yeah, I like that better. That's the way I used to teach that way all the time, and then when I did it yesterday, I didn't say that. I thought it would be too confusing, but I like that way better. Everybody see that? Let's do another one real quick. Give me another one. We only got 5 minutes left. 0.013. Okay. So watch what we want to do. We want to take that decimal and move it between where? The 1 and the 3. So I'm going to go 1.3 times 10. Now remember, we always start at 0. That 10, it's always 10 to the 0, because 10 to the 0 is a 1. Now, I move my decimal to the right 3 places, so where do I move my exponent? To the left 3 places, which is -3. That's a small number, that's a small number. Everybody got it? Small number, small number. Okay.
Middle school students, please go back to the cafeteria until the bell rings.
Yeah, why'd they let him out so early? I was wondering why it was so loud. Let's do one more. Let's do one where we have to move, where you have a bigger number. Give me one where they give you a big number. Yeah, a bigger number than just 32. Because this is a small number, that's a small number. Yeah, they do. 2,340. 47. And they want to change that to a scientific notation. Okay, here we go. Where's the decimal right now? It's right after the 7, isn't it? Where do I want to move it? In between the 2 and the 3. So I'm going to get 2.347. Now, I move this to the left, so where is my exponent going to go? To the right. How many places? 1, 2, 3, 3, boom. There it is. It's that easy. Does that help a little bit? It's a little bit. Sorry about the mix-up at the beginning.
Shall we?
I think that's good. We're not getting out of here any quicker. I mean, if you do another one.
We got more stuff to do.
I don't know. No, that's it. That's it for the quiz. That's it for the quiz. All right.
One where it's like 76,700.
76,000 what?
767.
You just want to put 6 sevens all the time. Yeah, I get it. Still, yeah. All right, so it goes from here to here, right? Just to make you happy. So it's going to be 6.6767, yeah. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. All right, times 10. Watch, you move this to the left, so where does this go? To the right. How many places? 4, so it's 10 to the 4th. We getting the hang of it now? All right. So that's the quiz. The quiz is tomorrow. Please be ready for it.
Wait, so are you collecting homework?
Yeah.